When they asked me to come and speak for the Girls Right Now program, I was honored because this is such an amazing program and such a necessity, especially with all the arts programs in many cases being taken out of schools, and just with writing and poetry not being as, how do I put it, folks don't act like it's as important as it really needs to be. And I always say that the historians write the facts, but the poets write the feelings. And when people look back on where we've come from to look forward to where we're going, it's just as important to know the facts of what have taken place as well as the feelings of the people and how they felt during those times of change. And this is definitely a time of change right now, especially in America. So we need as many poets as possible to speak about those feelings that are going on in this community. So becoming women is an amazing, like Maya was saying, an amazing theme because it's not easy becoming a woman. And it's chock full of feelings, so that's great for poets. And also there's just so many themes that go along with that because whether they be cultural or whether they be age-based, becoming a woman is a feat in itself, wouldn't you say so? Ladies and women? They're all thinking like, ooh, I don't know, yes. I'm happy to be here. So with my poetry and now my music, I speak directly from experience and I speak directly to others and their experiences. And I want to be a role model. And I'm not one of those artists that likes to say, oh, I don't need to be a role model, you know, it's just entertainment. Because the fact of the matter is that as a young woman, I look to the words of other women to help define who I became. And so it's important that there's enough literature and that there are enough words of strength and of insight and of creativity and originality to help shape the women that we have here and the women in this world to become strong, independent women that have their own thoughts. And so I wanted to share some poems with you all that helped me, or that, not helped me, but that spoke to different stages in my life of where I became who I am. And I always say I'm Amanda all day, but I'm Diva when necessary. So that's where that comes from. You don't want to see the diva. So first and foremost, I would say the number one thing that helped to shape the woman I've become is my mother. Moms in the house, make some noise. So I would like to share this poem with you about my mommy. My mother, Annette Ingrid Seals of Grenadian birth, speaks with an accent and seasons my dreams with jerk, my hopes with nutmeg, and my wishes with saffron and curry. A 5'8" Amazon, full-blooded West Indian, and she made sure I knew where my roots were sunk since day one. A hero unsung, I sing her song, the Caribbean melody that forever rung throughout the rooms of my home and the ears of my American mind. Infiltrating my speech with plantain sweetness. She may be a U.S. citizen, but within her veins runs the blood of Carib and Arawak Indians. So when I speak of my mother, my linguistics start to smell of ackee and saltfish, bakes and rum cake, oxtail, boneless chicken roti, and pepper steak. I equate the love of my Caribbean culture with my mother, who was more than just a mother. She was a brother, a father, a sister, and gave me everything from my last name to my fresh mouth. Born in LA at 8, we relocated to the South. A self-sufficient, independent, single mother like no other, she smothered me in Bob Marley, Sparrow, Sade, Anita Baker, Elton John, and Stevie, Mr. Rogers, Zoobly Zoo, and Sesame Street. 8 o'clock on Thursdays was Cosby. And I can't forget birthday parties at Chuck E. Cheese. Everybody thanks God for their success, but I thank him for blessing me with Annette, who worked 2 jobs all my life so we ain't have to live in no projects, who broke her back to have me in tap, ballet, ice skating, piano, violin, and gymnastics, packing lunches for 13 years, wiping my tears, running my bath, making me laugh, dance lessons in the living room. It took me a while to wind the waist on beat, but once I got it, I was in tune. She was more than just my personal maternal being. She's my eyes when I'm not seeing. Guiding me through the dark, she's my nightlight. I mean, I don't understand how someone human can always be right. My mother watching me jump on the trampoline. My mother taking me to lessons to learn how to sing. My mother singing songs and never knowing the words. My mother making me bird's eye custard. My mother who had me reading by age 2, for all the hip hop fans in the house. My mother who, when I say, holla back, youngin', answers, woo, woo. She's far from perfect, but she can't get any closer to being angelic. Praised me when I did good, and when I wasn't, I got one set of licks. You see, I used to cry and scream and shout, but now I thank her all the time for never being subpar, but always being sublime. My mother is words that rhyme, complimenting my last line, and makes it possible for the next thought to incline and take me closer to my dreams that she marinates in jerk, my hopes that she dashes in nutmeg, and my wishes that she simmers in saffron and curry. I learned from a queen how to rule over my own kingdom, swallowing with spoonfuls of jello her wisdom. I catch myself saying her quotes and mimicking her actions and saying words like she does and having identical reactions. And where others dread their moms in the day that they become her, I don't have that fear, because I know that I could never, ever, 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 ever be as fly as my mother. I was on the phone with my mom while we were getting started, and she was like, woo, you're busy on a Sunday? And I was like, yes, I'm about to talk about you. And she's like, don't say anything bad, don't say anything bad. I'm like, no, don't worry, it's a poem. It's already good, it's already good. So just to give you all a little bit about me, I was born in LA, grew up in Orlando, Florida, moved to New York in 1999 to go to college at SUNY Purchase for undergrad, and then I went to Columbia grad school for African American Studies. And I discovered poetry my senior year of high school, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Because I know for you all ladies here, I'm sure that poetry is one of those things that is a vehicle for sanity. Am I right? Yeah. Sometimes things just don't make sense, but being able to write it down and actually see the nonsense on a page is kind of like math in a way that you can see your work and work it out and figure it out. And that's what these poems are for me. And I just want to, throughout this speaking that I'm doing, I want to just continuously thank Girls Right Now for what they're doing, because I know that I would maybe be incarcerated if I didn't have poetry. Because it can go a little crazy.